Yo, what's happening? This is Corey McCrimmon, and I want to welcome you to OnSight.
Your background, like for the people that don't know you, you are a what's the actual term? A minister of music,
Right.
A music director. I think just depending on your level, it could be different things. But go ahead and shout all of that information out.
Man, so yes, I am the minister of music here, Works for Christ. I've been here, man, since 1998. Long time. You know, musicians don't last in church.
Very true. Very true. Very true.
So, but yeah, man, I got my background. I started in Johnsonville, man, coming up in the children's choir, youth choir, all that stuff. So, man, I didn't touch the piano until I was 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, man, I was assistant musician at Johnsonville Church for 5 years, man. So that kind of prepped me for where I'm at now.
Got you.
Yeah.
Is the piano your only instrument that you play? Like, 'cause, some people, I like to think of it as Prince was the guy that played with like 60 instruments or something. So is it just piano? Are you good on the drums? You good on the guitar or what?
Nah, man, just the piano, bro.
Okay.
And I'm struggling with that.
Nah, you're not struggling, brother. You're not struggling. But then again, even if it's the piano, like you're currently sitting behind an organ. So I don't want to discredit the difference between the piano, the keyboard, and the organ, because you got to have your footwork together to jump on that organ. So that's a skill set in itself. Talk about the differences between the two for the people that don't know.
Man, it definitely organ's a beast, man. So so the difference is, man, you definitely got to have a coordination playing the organ. You got your drawbars and stuff that you're working with. You got your foot pedals you're working with, and you got two presets, two sets of keys you're working with, and presets, man. So it's a lot going on. A real organist, man, really knows how to, use these drawbars, what they're for, what they mean, and everything. And so, I can play an organ, but I won't consider myself an organist. So to speak, you know what I mean?
No, it's a lot of people. You real humble with it, and that's how you know you're good at your craft. When you always say, "Nah, I don't consider myself." I hear basketball players say all the time, "I'm not that good. It's somebody better than me." And like I say the same thing with this camera. It's somebody that's better than me on this camera, but I just have a passion for it, and I'm always learning. So I can definitely agree with you on that statement. I be watching people play the organ, and you got, I think it's like a transpose pedal or something. There's some switch on the end.
It's called Leslie switch. Okay. So it controls the speed of the sound.
Gotcha.
Whatnot, man. So the new organs got transpose. Okay. And I don't like transpose, man. It's on keyboards too. I like to play in the key that the song is in, or play in all my keys. Right. Whatnot. So, but transpose. You do what you gotta do, but to me, that's a lazy way out of playing. You know what I mean? You need to learn all that stuff if you ever want to get in a major setting. But now, man, even some of your greatest musicians, they operate off the transpose. Okay. So I don't knock it. It is definitely it's an effective tool. I grew up old school, man, to where I had to play a piano, like a real piano. So
I could agree with you on that, because when I was in film school, the first thing they said for us not to do was don't get comfortable with autofocus on your camera. If you can't manually control this lens, then you are not a master of the craft. So, no, I dig that 100%.
Yeah.
Good deal. Okay. Yeah. So as far as you started playing young, when did you start did you start singing around the same time? Or?
No, man, I started singing in the choir man, since I can remember, we had something called Buds of Promise. Okay. Back in Johnsonville, man. So I think that was from babies up to like 4 or 5. Got you. And so, man, way back then we were singing, and that was the foundation work. Getting in that atmosphere and learning notes and keys, vocals and stuff like that. So it started way back when I was adolescent, way down there.
Got you. Okay. So who were like some of your musical influences? Who did you listen to to kind of get your style as far as playing the organ or your style in the songs that you write? Like, who are your influences?
Man, my number one influence was Pastor John P. Key. Pastor John P. Key.
Legend.
I'll tell you this story real quick. When I was desired to play the piano, I was 17, and I had no desire up until that day to play a piano.
Okay.
And I wanted to help the lady at my church out because you playing for like 4 or 5 choirs, man. You know, killing it. So my cousin actually, Bobby Jordan. So she's actually the one that helped me get started.
Okay.
But man, what initiated that was a John P. Key had a song come out called "Never Shall Forget," and it was a part of that song that went wah, wah, wah,
yep.
wah. And I was fascinated with that piece. So fascinated, man, I had a little small keyboard about this small. The keys weren't even regular size. And I was on my way to a football game riding in the backseat of a car. And I had, back then, musicians, man, we had to rewind, play this song, rewind it, play it over and over.
You talking about the tape era. Yes, sir. I grew up in the tape era. Yes, sir.
The tape era. That's how we had to learn. So, man, I kept rewinding it here, and I picked those keys out. And I picked the bass line out. Bass line was how I always learned my song.
Okay.
If I could hear the bass line, I'm good to go, man. That's why I'm surprised I'm not a bass player, because I love bass. So when I heard that sound, man, I found that joint, man. You couldn't tell me. I picked that whole line out, and the bass line go with it. Took it back to church, man. Told her, I said, hey, I want to play the piano. She was like, you serious? Yes, ma'am. Well, here's this C chart. If you take that home and learn that, then we'll see what we can do with you. I learned that thing before I left church, man.
Oh, so see, the inspiration was born.
Yeah,
it was already in you.
My father played,
so it was natural. Okay,
so everything is, I didn't think about all that at that time.
Right.
But, I started like, man, I had my first cousin. She played. My father played. So, it had to happen.
Right. The seed was already planted. You just didn't understand, and when your timing came.
Right.
You stepped up to the plate.
Right.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
So, concerning the music, like, you've released this song.
Yes, sir.
And GHME Films had the privilege and the honor of producing a music video for you.
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about The Storm, which is the title of the record. Walk us through, like, what is your mental state? What are you going through? What was the process and the message that you wanted people to receive from that song?
So, man, that's a very personal song with a personal message. And I believe that message is for the world. But, man, I was going through cancer at that time when I wrote that song. I never wrote it down. I was laying in my bed, and I couldn't get out of bed, couldn't go to church, couldn't do nothing, man. Very, very tough time. Lost my job behind that situation, and man, it was a very dark place. Had a family, married at the time, and children small. So man, a lot was going on. But I was laying in my bed that morning, and my family had came to church, and man, the words began to just fall in my spirit, man, because I just was in a low place, and God began to speak to this young man. And he, those words, I see the clouds, son. I know it's raining right now, but don't worry about the storm. God is in control. The storm is passing over, So man, it was birthed in my bed. In the middle of it, God was declaring that it's passing over and it's over. Prophetically spoke, man, to me, the end to the beginning. The beginning to the end. I said, I know you in it, but it's passing.
Right.
And it'll soon be over. So, it was birthed right then, man. So when and God honored his word. He honored his word through that. And I was able to teach it to a community choir I had at the time. And it was effective everywhere we went, man. So, yeah, I've been writing songs all my life.
Okay.
This is the first one that I've recorded.
That's what I was going to say, because you said you've been ministering this song for a while. So, like, how long have you been performing the song to when you thought, okay, I actually need to release this for the public and actually put it out on streaming platforms and recording it?
Since 2011, up until it was recorded.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
And I think you released the song like on DSPs when 2023?
December 4th, 2023.
So the song is 11 years old.
Right. It's, 13.
13 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is also a message for like musicians or artists of any genre. Like, we don't necessarily know how long
right.
the song has been since it was created.
Right.
But we can't get stuck in our own head saying, oh, this is not good enough. This is
right.
Ultimately, that's for the public to perceive.
Uh-huh.
We have to put our art out. So, no, that's a great message.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So then, like, talk about the production of the song, because I can't remember the gentleman's name. Please forgive me.
Yeah, man, the infamous, the one and only Cedric Thompson. Man, my brother been knowing Cedric and Lejeune for years, man.
Okay.
For a long time. And I gotta say, before my release, man, music had left me, man. You know what I mean? I was not in feeling it for a little while.
Right.
And but upon my father's passing, my dad was always pushing me. He said, "Son," I was going through something else.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I know you need to get back on your music. You need to get it out there." Just that he was always pushing me to do that, and I kept telling him, "Dad, I'm not feeling it.
Right.
Man, I'm empty." And he passed, man. He didn't get to see his son bounce all the way back on this side in the earth realm. I know he's watching now, but that was my inspiration, man, to getting back in place with God and getting back into what he's called me to do. So my brother, to answer your question, my brother was another champion. Him and his wife always pushing me, always getting on me, man.
Right.
And so he hooked me up with Cedric. And man, the rest is history, man. I sent Cedric my ideas, and man, he put it together. And yeah, he produced the record, man, and just did a phenomenal job.
No, the song is amazing. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So this was, I think I heard you say this was the first song you've recorded. This was the first music video you done. Wow. So walk us through the process. Like, how were you feeling going into organizing this shoot? Because I will personally tell you, and I'm going to say this on air, and I actually gave this testimony the day after we filmed that music video. Wow. This was the first time I've shot probably over 100 music videos. Wow. And I've had a lot of participation in my music videos. They haven't all been from the Christian aspect. But again, I've had a lot of participation. But this was absolutely the first time that I have ever shot a music video. And I had 100 extras show up, not on time, but ahead of schedule. So that, to me, just let me know maybe I'm shooting the wrong type of videos. Honestly, I'm saying this on air for the world is right. Yeah, it's just the truth.
Right.
So talk about that process. Like, how were you feeling going into the music video? How were you feeling about your performances? And you actually did a live recording at that same time, so it was like a 2-for-1.
Yeah. It was it was just a live set. Not really recording, so to speak. Okay. But I wanted to perform another song that I'm going to be releasing here, preferably before the end of the year. Okay. I want to promote this song. But man, the idea came immediately after I released the song in December. And so I think about January, man, I started messing with the idea, man, I need to get a video of this song. People are visuals. A lot of people are visual.
In today's world, absolutely.
Right. So, man, I started searching for videographers and everything, and don't know why in the world your name didn't even pop up at first glance, because I knew you did it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And but someone threw your name, several people threw your name out there in the hat. I said, yeah, that's who I'm going with. So man, I wrestled with the idea. Didn't really know how I was going to do it, how I was going to pay for it. Didn't have no game plan.
Right.
All I had was an idea and a vision. I just want to shoot a video. That was it. And so man, months went on by. I forgot when we actually met up and talked about it. But it wasn't until our initial meeting, man, that I really started getting to work on how I wanted it to be. I still didn't plan on doing the song live until maybe 2 weeks before it was time to shoot the video. So I put that together real fast. I got with the musicians that played Robbie, Bernard, and Pete. Mm-hmm. So that's why I wasn't as I didn't have as many musicians that I would love to have. Love to have had. On each instrument piece. So man, we took what we had, and man, I got with the singers, and I used some of the singers from the old community group I had, and the very first community group I had, a long time ago. So man, they just came together. It clicked. Everything fell in place. We had one rehearsal.
Wow. Okay. One
rehearsal, and I think one band rehearsal without the singers.
Wow.
Nice. we didn't have no full band rehearsal with the singers. We had like Robbie and Pete one time, bass player, and then Robbie and Bernard one time.
Right.
But we had an official band rehearsal 2 days before the shoot. And so, man, it fell in place. Yeah. And the extras, I reached out on Facebook and just said, anybody want to be a part of a video, hey, meet us over here.
Oh, they showed up for you, brother.
They did.
Let me tell you, they showed up. They showed up and they showed out. And I think that's a testament to, even in business, sometimes we just have to have a vision and then to act on that vision. Sometimes we don't necessarily know how it's going to end up. We shouldn't have an expectation. We should just have the mindset of, I want to achieve this, or I want to achieve something. And like, not to spoil it, because I definitely feel like this interview was going to drop before the actual music video, but it's a lot of elements in the music video that came from that live recording.
Right.
As we went through the editing process, as the executive producer, you had the ability to see how we're editing in real time and make the appropriate changes.
Right.
So a lot of the actual takes that show up in the music video is the live recording.
Right.
So, I mean, that, to me, that makes the video even more special, because it does have that live aspect of it, instead of it all being scripted actors, which I want to talk about as well, because you had a monster of an actress come in, a bunch of creatives that actually do the same thing. Yeah. But you chose to allow me to direct this video, which, hey, I'm definitely honored for that experience. But again, without you having that thought to, I want to do it live,
right,
it may not have turned out the way that it did. So
right.
No, that's big. That's major. That's major.
The actors and actors, man.
Yeah. So who actually did the casting? You did the casting, correct?
I did, man. I knew about some here in the city. I knew about Jessica, and I knew about Amanda. And so, man, Amanda brought her husband in on it, man. Who does some acting now, and Marcus, man, who goes to the church here. I didn't know Marcus could do his thing, you know what I mean? And Marcus told me, he said, man, when I told him what I was doing, he said, man, I'd be one of the actors, man. I said, for real, man? He said, yeah, I'd be one of the actors. So I never seen Marcus work.
And he has one of the more powerful, emotional scenes in the video.
Yeah,
man.
No,
his performance was spot on. It's awesome.
They just, man. And Rayford, man, Jessica got him coming all the way from South Carolina, man, to be a part.
Wow.
It just lets me know, man, that when something's meant to be and ordained, it's going to fall.
Absolutely.
Chips going to fall. We got this bad habit of thinking that because it's a struggle, it must be God. No, it ain't always got to be a struggle, because the Bible says, the blessing of the Lord make it rich and no sorrow. Right. So, man, I didn't have any sorrow attached to anybody that became a part of this video, whatnot, from the extras to the producer himself, which is you. And the band, nobody had any type of rejection or negative thing to say, man. Yeah, man, we got you, man. Let's do it. So yeah.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And like I said, when it's meant to be, it's absolutely meant to be. And when you put out a positive message and, your networking is a big key, especially in my world, the video world, or just overall business, period. Networking is a big key. So, being humble, being available for people, because I'm pretty sure it's been musicians call you, hey, we need an extra organist or an extra keyboard player. And you said the same thing. I got you. So that is huge. That it definitely paid off. So again, The Storm was just the beginning. This is one single.
Yes,
and now you got this other record, which was absolutely a bop. I'm like, why are we not shooting a video for this joint? But talk about the new song.
Man, that's also a song that was written around the same time.
Okay.
It's actually like a response to The Storm.
Okay.
So to speak, saying some of the same stuff, but it's groove. It's a groove with it.
It's definitely a vibe.
And man, it's what it says. Hold on, your trouble's not gonna last always. And that's a true statement, man. But we gotta hold on. We gotta just ride it out, ride that storm out sometime, and the sun will shine again. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
The birds will sing again, whatnot. And man, so that was around the same time, man. I was going through the same stuff, and God gave me that song, man. But I tell you, the part when we ministered live, man, the boys they went into that little groove. That was totally ad-lib. I had no idea where we was going with that.
It's beautiful, and like they say, when two or three are gathered, it turned into an entire church service. Like the video was done, but we in here 2 hours later, and this really nobody wanted to move. Like
it was great, man. It was just the vibe was, God was in the place, man. Even down to the church, man. The young man that was there running the audio, man. The day before while we were setting the sound up, my man was like, hey, I'm coming tomorrow, man. Anything you need, let me know. I said, well, man, I'm going to connect you with my producer, man, my videographer, and you can work it out from there. And, man, when he showed up before time.
it just lets you know it's meant to be. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then one in the planning stage, we forgot to get a lawyer. The day we forgot to get a lawyer.
Tell this story, absolutely.
And there was a gentleman at the church, and he brought a variation to the video. So the white gentleman at the church, man, fell right in. And he became the lawyer.
He just happened to have on the button-up shirt and the whole time. Like it was perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
When I say everything just fell, man, it just fell out like snow, man. It just laid where it needed to lay. And it happened.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I definitely I know you can't wait for people to be able to experience the music video.
Yeah.
To continue streaming this The Storm as well as Hold On whenever it actually comes out.
Right.
So I guess my next question is, like, what's after these two? Are you planning a full EP, a full album, or are you just gonna sprinkle them with these two singles and then ride off into the sunset?
Man, that's a good question. I don't foresee a full album, but what I do foresee is a bunch of singles.
You know what? In today's music strategy, I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah, I do see quite a few. Man, I tell you, I have songs that I have a lot of songs, man, that I can't wait to update and bring back to life, and some new stuff. I do have new stuff that I keep in my phone. I sing when I'm riding down the road and get ideas. So it's happening, man. The creativity is flowing again. It's starting to flow. And I'm looking forward to get even broader, man, so much that I can't hardly keep up, So I remember there was a time where it was like that, man. I've sang songs out for many years, man, since I did my first community choir in 96. Okay. And we did original songs back then. Probably was the only one in this area, doing original songs.
So the seed was planted then.
At that time, yeah.
And just like you said, nobody, unless you were at one of those shows, nobody has heard those songs.
Nobody heard them.
So it could be a person in Africa or a person in Tokyo right now that needs that message.
Yeah.
So again, doesn't matter how old it is. We just got to put it out and let the people appreciate it.
That's it, man. That's it. I realized that.
Okay, good deal. Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, how can the people contact you? Like, are you teaching piano? Are you teaching organ or?
Man, I was teaching before COVID.
Gotcha.
But I went back to a secular job, a real estate agent. So I went back to that, man.
Oh, praise God, you're doing good. It's 1,000 million houses being built up in this area.
So I don't do any lessons anymore. But I am faithful here. I've been here, like I said, since '98. So, I work with the choir here, and I've got a young musician, actually one of my former students, who's coming up playing with me now.
Nice.
So yeah, man, I'm excited about the journey. Yeah.
Good deal. Okay, so anybody needing to get a hold of you because they need the community choir, they need you to come and minister this song at their church or their concert live. How can they contact you?
Man, they might not get a community choir, but I'll definitely come with my track, or if I can get some singers to follow me, whatnot, I'll do that. But yeah, you can catch me on Facebook as Ardell McCrimmon. That's my middle name, Ardell McCrimmon. On Instagram, I am C McCrim, NC Realtor. Maybe an underscore somewhere in there.
Yeah, you definitely got to shout that out because they might need a house too. They need you to come perform and they need a house.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it.
If you're in the market for buying or selling, holler at your boy.
Good deal.